Despite all the progress he had made over the years with Logue, the king was still far from being a perfect public speaker, as is clearly audible to anyone listening to the recordings of those of his speeches that have survived in the archives. A contemporary analysis was provided in an unsolicited letter that was sent to Lascelles that June. It was written by the Reverend Robert Hyde, the founder of the Boys' Welfare Association, the organisation of which the king had become patron more than 2 decades earlier when he was the Duke of York. Over the years, Hyde had had plenty of opportunities to listen to the king at close quarters, and was apparently keen to share his impressions, although he didn't offer any solutions. The letter was nevertheless passed to Logue. "As you know, I have studied the king's speech for some years, so send you this note for what it is worth," Hyde wrote. The hesitations, he said, seemed quite consistent. Apart from a slight lapse into his old difficulties with the C's and G's, as in crisis and give, the same 2 groups still seemed to worry him. The A vowel, especially when it was followed by a consonant, as in ago or alone, and a repeated sound or letter, as in the combination yes please or which we. That November brought another state opening of Parliament, and another speech. Going through the text with the king, Logue played his habitual role of identifying and eliminating potential tongue-twisters and other awkward phrases that might trip him up. "In an unbreakable alliance" looked like it was going to cause problems, as did "fortified by constant collaboration of the governments concerned." So both were replaced. Another phrase, "on windy beaches," was replaced by "storm-swept beaches." On the evening of Sunday the 3rd of December, the king was due to make a speech on the radio to mark the disbanding of the Home Guard, the 2 million-strong defence force formed of men either too young, too old, or too unfit to join the army. The force had been created in July 1940 to help defend Britain against a Nazi invasion, which appeared imminent. Now, in a reflection of the conviction that the tide of war had finally turned in the Allies' favour, it was being disbanded. Logue worked with the king on the text of the speech and went to Windsor to hear him speak. He was impressed to note he made only one mistake. He stumbled over the W in weapons. Afterwards, Logue shook hands with the king and, after congratulating him, asked why that particular letter had proved such a problem. "I did it on purpose," the king replied with a grin. "On purpose?" asked Logue, incredulous. "Yes. If I don't make a mistake, people might not know it was me."